And it just kind of all stopped us in our tracks. You know, we're literally in the middle of nowhere. All of a sudden, this rock comes arching out of the timberline, and it's not falling off a cliff because we were on top of this finger ridge. There's no cliff there. The rock was thrown. So this rock hits the ground, and we all just look at each other like, what in the world? And another one comes. Thunk, right next to us. And another rock came. That's when we really got scared. We just grabbed up our gear off the ground and started running down this ridge. I got about 10 steps into it and remembered I had a .357 in my backpack. That's the point when I saw it. There's a Sasquatch standing there looking at me. And it just stepped right from myth right into reality. It was terrifying. I would guess somewhere around 8 feet tall. I would guess somewhere probably from 800 to 1,000 pounds. I encounter bears very frequently. And this was not a bear. It was the shape of a human, just very muscled up, very large, and incredibly thick, and just incredibly big, very heavy. And no, there's no mistaking whatsoever. I was freaked out. I was scared. And I ran all the way down that ridge to the trail. You know, I'm not nuts. I know what I saw, and I've seen more than one. There it is. They're real.
Mark catches up with Derek at the Olympic Project, a dedicated program he runs to try to identify the Sasquatch. Today, they're footprint casting, practicing on a human foot. Derek is convinced that the peninsula is one of the great Bigfoot hotspots of the world, and that it's a corridor they often use. But even so, he acknowledges that it's incredibly rare to see them.
I'm in the woods 5 days a week, and I have been for a long time, you know, almost 3 decades. I've seen 2. So when you average things out, you take the normal person that goes into the woods on their vacation once or twice a year, they're going to win the lottery before they see a Sasquatch. It's a tall order. And it's a tall order because, number one, this is my opinion, there's not that many of them. Number 2, they're very intelligent. Number 3, they're hypersensitive and hyper-aware.
If you've localized it and you want this predictability, you're pretty sure this is a corridor, kind of, there are going to be a lot of people who just say, well, why don't you just stake this corridor out with cameras, thermal imaging, movement detectors, the whole lot?
Well, it's all boils down to money.
Is it?
Yeah, I mean, right now we deploy about 56 cameras. These cameras are about $600 a piece. It's great in theory, but until a rich person steps up and says, hey, we're going to give you a couple $1 million, let's stake this area out, that's not even feasible. Even with 56 cameras, you're a complete needle in a haystack.